Beyond the badge, unraveling the origins of the Cops&Doughnut's stereotype that took over the world. Members of law enforcement stuffing their faces full of donuts is one of the most enduring stereotypes about the boys and girls in blue. In virtually every media representation of the police that isn't deadly serious, the stereotype is played out in some way. Police Academy, The Simpsons, Family Guy, Hell, and Wreck-It Ralph, the police officers are literally sentient donuts. So where and when did this stereotype start? As to the when, that isn't clear. There are anecdotal accounts supporting the idea that officers commonly frequented donut shops as early as the 1950s, and probably further back for reasons we'll get into shortly. But the general public doesn't seem to have made the connection at this stage, at least not as far as surviving documented evidence suggests. As to why donut shops were, and to a much lesser extent still are, so popular among the police, the answer is simple. Up until quite recently in history, most food establishments, and also the majority of stores, closed fairly early in the evening and stayed closed all night. There were basically two options for an officer working the graveyard shift who wanted a snack and a cup of fairly good quality coffee. Diners and donut shops, both of which were regularly frequented by the police. Another reason officers at this time could be frequently found at diners and donut shops beyond the coffee and food is that, outside of the police station, they offered one of the only climate-controlled areas to sit down at night, particularly for officers in cities that walk the beat. Instead of sitting in a climate-controlled car, this is handy, as are the tables. On that latter note, even cops working the night shift who had patrol cars appreciated the well-lit place to sit down and do paperwork, which, as many police lament, is a huge part of their job. However, this donut cop tradition is noted by some younger officers as a generational thing. For instance, in a news report interviewing various officers of the youthful persuasion during National Donut Day, yes, that's a thing, most were quick to point out that donuts were simply too sugary and unhealthy for the modern, more health-conscious officer on the go. Nevertheless, even said officers still occasionally hit the donut shops at night to get good quality coffee on the go, and whether a large percentage of officers still frequent donut shops for donuts or not, as long as some do, confirmation bias will no doubt ensure the stereotype of cops chowing down on donuts any chance they get will live on either way. Like, comment, and subscribe.